Welcome back. Now, today Namibia joined the global community in commemorating International Anti-Corruption Day in Rundu. This year's theme, Uniting with Youth Against Corruption, Shaping Tomorrow's Integrity, highlights the critical role of young people in promoting transparency as well as integrity. Organized by the Anti-Corruption Commission, the ACC, the event also marks the opening of the ACC's new Rundu Regional Office. With an estimated 500 stakeholders expected to attend, the goal is to foster collaboration and empower young people to take the lead in fighting corruption within their communities. Joining us this evening to shed more light on the event is Josephine Nghituwamata, who's the Chief PRO at the ACC. Josephine, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, and thank you so much for having me.
Josephine, how impactful has International Anti-Corruption Day been in raising awareness and driving meaningful change, in Namibia's fight against corruption?
Thank you so much for this opportunity to share the information in regards to today's event. Basically, the International Anti-Corruption Day has really been bringing much change in terms of our effort in fighting corruption. Being that the commemoration, first of all, it's now rotated in different regions. It's no more commemorated in Windhoek as it has been, and we have realized that it being rotated also increased the visibility of the Anti-Corruption Commission in the country, and also assist in raising awareness in terms of our activities, the mandate, the vision and mission for the commission, and also make people to know of what we do, and also encourage them to really come forth to report corruption. If you can remember, last year it was hosted in Zambezi region, and this year now it's happening. It happened actually in Rundu, in the Kavango East region, and we have really seen an impact. Last year when we left the Zambezi region, we could really tell that people get to know the Anti-Corruption Commission and what we do. And they really, from then, we started getting a lot of calls from that particular region in terms of people who want to partake in the fight against corruption by reporting corrupt activities or by coming forth to tell us what they have known, they come across, just for them to get advice also in terms of what is corruption and what is not in their specific region. And we are hoping for the same as we have done in Rundu as well, whereby we have carried out the same activities, and we are really hoping that from here the impact will be felt by this community, and also we'll see improvement in terms of cases reported from this particular region.
As I mentioned earlier, this year's theme focuses on youth involvement. So what practical steps will be taken to ensure, the engagement goes beyond just attending the event?
As it's current, the Anti-Corruption Commission is making an effort really to involve the young people in the fight against corruption. It is specifically spoke about the theme that's really focused on the youth, and also bring about the involvement and the participation of the youth in the fight against corruption. The Anti-Corruption Commission is already in the process, it's already doing that actually, and I think having this theme as a focus for the commemoration of the day on this year, it's actually just enforcing what is already there, and maybe just to give us some ideas at what else we can do moving forward in terms of involving the youth in our activities. At the current, the Anti-Corruption Commission, we have on the National Anti-Corruption Strategy, which is a strategy coordinated by the Commission, there's a strategic objective that mainly speaks about youth engagement and participation of youth in anti-corruption activities. And that strategy actually is run in collaboration with the youth-related institutions like the National Youth Service, the Ministry of Youth, the Ministry of Youth, as well as the National Youth Service, and all other youth groups that mostly come to us and mostly collaborate in terms of spearheading or the pushing forward the activities that speaks to the youth, and also that actually spell out the youth participation in the fight against corruption. And at current also, building on what we have done last year, whereby we have coordinated a campaign, which was an anti-corruption song competition, which actually brought in the youth, the young people, the secondary school learners who were participating in that competition. And through that competition, it actually made us feel like the youth had not been really engaged in terms of the issues of corruption, in terms of their role in participating in the fight against corruption. And through that campaign, the song competition, it really gave us, it actually set that momentum for us to really come up with initiatives that involve the young people, so that they can assist the Commission in fighting corruption, so that they can also use their own individual capacity to participate in the fight against corruption. And also, this year we have participated in quite a number of youth gatherings or youth coaching sessions where we were invited for us to just coach and mentor the youth in terms of their role in fighting corruption and also advocating for change within their space. And also we continue to do that. And as we're guided by the strategic objective number 8 of the National Anti-Corruption Strategy that focuses on the youth, many activities will definitely come up that will actually guide us in terms of how we can best involve the youth in the fight against corruption in our country.
Thank you so much, Josephine. Now, with the launch of the Rundu Regional Office, what specific strategies are in place to ensure it, has a direct impact on reducing corruption within the Kavango East region?
Of course, that's what our aim is, actually to have an impact in Rundu, the Kavango East region, and in particular the 3 regions, this side, which is the Zambezi region, the Kavango West region, as well as the Kavango East region. The impact is what we want to have on the residents of these 3 regions, and to make sure that our education activity will be intensified in these 3 regions, and it will be better and bigger than before, because before we used to have our staff members from Chiwarongo who catered for the 3 regions, which was kind of a cumbersome process because of the human resources, because of the other resources like fuel, costs, and other things. But now they are here. They are no more going to travel long distances for them to reach out to the community in terms of educating them, in terms of engaging the institutions in these 3 regions to do the corruption risk assessment, advise these institutions on how they can best improve their systems and processes, and to ensure that they close all the loopholes in their systems that actually bridging to corrupt activities. And also, we would really want to see an increase in numbers of cases that will be reported from this region, and that increase should come from the understanding that the residents of this region will have as to differentiate between a corrupt activity and an uncorrupt activity. So we are really looking forward to work with these communities and making sure that they also come and be open to report to the Commission whatever they come across within their institutions and the community. And we are talking about not only the urban area, we are talking about the traditional authorities, we are talking about those in the rural areas. And our office is really equipped with staff members. We are well trained and they are well equipped, and most of them speak the languages that can be spoken that side. And for those who cannot, they can definitely work together to ensure that they reach to the ground level for those who cannot even understand English, to make sure that they understand what corruption is and how to identify corrupt activity.
As I mentioned in the beginning, about 500 stakeholders were expected to be a part of the event. That's quite a large number. So how will the ACC, ensure sustained engagement and follow-up actions after the event, to maintain the momentum?
As I've mentioned earlier, that the Commission is a coordinating institution for the National Anti-Corruption Strategy. This strategy actually involves quite a number of activities, quite a number of institutions. And we'll use this as one of the tools or the methods to ensure that we reach out to different institutions. This strategy has been implemented by close to 44 institutions, but most of the time, given these areas being far from our towns, they could have been really limited in terms of consultations. But as we speak, the strategy makes provision for regional forums that are being chaired by the governors of all the regions. Each region have a governor that chair their own regional forum. And those regional forums, the members of this regional forum are actually the residents of that particular region. So as we are here, we are going to make sure that all the stakeholders who came to this to our event, because we had a representative from political parties, we have a representative from academic institutions, traditional authorities, the youth groups, all sorts of sectors were really present at this event. And we are really going to make sure that moving forward, we consult them and making sure that they are contributing to the fight against corruption in this country, either through the National Anti-Corruption Strategy and through other means other activities that we are going to come up with moving forward. And I'm sure that our planning for the 2025-2026 will definitely be fully packed, because this office will have its own plan, and they have to come up with all activities that are going to involve the residents of these three regions to make sure that they cannot just come to the event and go and forget about ACC. They must know that we are here to stay, and we are here to bring the service closer to them, and it's them to use this particular office. They have to make use of this office for us to better our country and make sure that the fight against corruption in our country is actually yielding results.
Madam Josephine, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a good evening.
When we come